Hey, seventh graders, I just wanted to take a second to give you a little bit of help on the 12-3 assignment, the area of composite figures lesson. So I just wanted to draw out some of the pictures and maybe write down some of the formulas to help you a little bit, as we are not going over questions again until Wednesday. So I know I drew number 1 on your notes, but if I had to draw it out as one figure, it looks something kind of like this. And I see a parallelogram here as well as another parallelogram here. So if I look at the measurements, I see this is 6 and 4, and here we have 4, and they tell me the height is 3.6. So if I needed the area formula for these parallelograms, well, there's 2 of them. So I will need the base and the height for the red, as well as the base and the height for the green. So you'll plug in the information for each of those, and then you'll solve. Number 2, we also drew out in our notes, but just in case, I see in green half of a circle, and in red I see a triangle. So in the book it says this is 14, the height of this triangle is 10, and the diameter of the circle is 22. So to fill in my area formula, well, I'm going to have a triangle. So looking at my area formula for a triangle, that would be 1/2 the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle, as well as half of a circle. And the area formula for a circle is pi r squared. Now be careful with this one because they don't give you the radius, they give you the diameter. So you will have to solve for the radius given the diameter. But again, you'll plug in the radius for the circle, and you'll plug in the base and the height for the triangle, and then you will solve. Number 3 looks something like this. Now in this picture, I see a trapezoid on top, and I see a rectangle on bottom. You may see 2 rectangles and a triangle, that's okay as well. But if we go like this, area formulas I will need will be that of a trapezoid, which is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height, and the area formula for a parallelogram, the base times the height. Now looking here, I have the base and I have the height for the rectangle. If I look at my trapezoid, I have one of the bases. Well, I actually know what the other base is because it's going to be 2.8 as well, since my bottom figure is a rectangle. But I'm going to need my height. This entire side is 5.7, but I only need this portion. So in order to find my height, I need to subtract this part. That's what I don't need. So my height would be 5.7 minus 3. So again, we have all of our information. You would plug it into your formula and you would solve. Number 4 kind of looks like a racetrack. Okay, if I cut off these ends here, I see 2 half circles, which gives me 1 full circle, as well as a parallelogram or a rectangle in the middle. So to solve for my area formula, I'm going to need 1 circle, which is pi r squared. 2 half circles make a full circle, and the parallelogram, the base times the height. They tell me that this is 12, 12, and 6, and 6. Well, if I look, 6 goes all the way across the circle, so 6 would be the diameter, not the radius. So again, be careful with that. Looking at number 5. Number 5, I see a trapezoid and a parallelogram. So, area formula for parallelogram is the base times the height. Trapezoid is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Again, I'm getting all of these from the first page of your notes. You do not have to memorize them. You just have to know what each of them stands for. So B1 and B2 would be base 1 and base 2 of a trapezoid. H would be height, and so on. So I see this is 13. They tell me here to here is 4, which would be the height of the trapezoid. And these dimensions on the parallelogram are 4 and 6 feet. Well, if this is 4 and it's a parallelogram, I know this is 4. So I actually have the other base of the trapezoid. Number 6. If I look here, draw it out, I see a rectangle and another rectangle. So 2 different cases. I'm going to need the base times the height on one and the base times the height on the other. Okay, so I'm leaving these. You still have several steps to do on each of these, but at least you have your pictures drawn out and your formulas. Number 7. This one looks to me like a rectangle, kind of a funny picture, and a triangle. So my area formula would need to be the dimensions of the rectangle, which look to be 22 and 6, the base and the height. And then I would need the triangle, 1/2 the base times the height. Which it tells me these pieces right here are 2, and the height of the whole figure is 18. Well, if this whole distance is 22, and I just want the part in green, 22 minus 2 gives me 20, minus another 2 gives me 18. Now, if they give me the entire height, and I only want the height of the triangle, I need to subtract 6. Well, 18 minus 6 gives me a height for my triangle of 12. So that gives you a little head start if you were still stuck. I would like you to continue with this on 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Number 8, as a little hint, I see a trapezoid on top and a square or parallelogram on the bottom. Number 9, I see 3 different figures, a half circle, a rectangle, and a triangle. Number 10, there would be a half circle on top and a trapezoid on bottom. Number 11, it looks like there's a square in the middle and 4 half circles. Well, 4 half circles would be 2 full circles. And then number 12, although it may look like a parallelogram, I see 2 trapezoids. So use this video just as a little bit of help, and again, we'll go over any questions you have on Wednesday, but still feel free to email me if you have lots